Yes.
I mangled it. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, no, Hitler had a similar one about the bigger the lie, the more they'll buy it.
Sure. There you go. There you go. Let me just throw out a quote, just because, we're 20 minutes into this, and I'm sure I'm being demonized across the nation by, all of the people that do that sort of thing.
But people see through the propaganda organs now like they never have before.
Well, good. Good, finally. There's a couple of quotes here. The first is, "It is unpatriotic not to tell the truth, whether about the president or anyone else." The second quote from this same gentleman is that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes, well, I mean, that's what the Founding Fathers said. It's our job to be watchdogs. The Declaration of Independence clearly states that in our seminal founding document.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've been coerced away from these founding principles.
We've been told you're either with us or you're with the terrorist, and we've been told never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning 9/11. Bush said that at the UN.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That would direct the blame away from those responsible. Blah blah blah. Back to Building 7. Yeah. You pointed out in one of your documentaries that in a classic controlled demolition that they create what's first called a crease. Is that correct? Or a wrinkle?
Crease, wrinkle, crimp, all those are used, yes. They blow the central column.
Right, and the term pull is about pulling the outer walls toward the center of the building, correct?
Yes.
So you minimize the damage, and that way you bring a building down on its own footprint. Correct?
And many controlled demolition experts said they've never seen a prettier job than Building 7.
Yeah, gosh. And there was a guy, I can't remember his name, but scientifically he broke down that the building actually fell faster than the speed of gravity because of the explosive vacuum that was created.
Well, a lot of different physicists, physics professor at BYU, Stephen Jones has done that. Underwriting Laboratories, Kevin Ryan, who was the...
That guy got fired, right?
Yes, he said we did our own test, and it's impossible. Steel doesn't melt until thousands of degrees, around 3,000 it weakens, and jet fuel burns at 1,200 to 1,400. It's impossible.
Well, that's 1,200 at optimum conditions, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you've got Silverstein, the leaseholder, the owner of 7 as well as the rest of the complex, right? On tape, on the record, saying, we've had such a terrible loss of life that day, and I made the decision that they should go ahead and pull it.
And we gave the order and watched the building come down.
Yeah. The pull is that's his coming to the demo world as action and cut to the movie world.
Here is Larry Silverstein, the owner, who took out $7 billion of insurance on the 2 towers, and he's also now bought the Sears Tower and taken out a bunch of insurance. And Governor Pataki just called him the lowest of the low in the newspaper because he's holding out for $1 billion more now. Interesting fellow, made out quite well, and here is his statement from America Rebuilds.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. I said, we've had such a terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
They made the decision to pull. They made the decision. And this building with 2 small fires implodes perfectly, and then there's video from every angle of the squibs, or the blast points, where the plastic explosives are detonating, and you see the ejection ports, you see the blast points, just like when you watch a Las Vegas demolition. They just had a demolition over the weekend in Fort Worth. We have video and photos of that up on Infowars.com. Fell just like 7. The blast, the squibs, then the crimp in the middle, the top of the building imploding downwards, and then it falls in on itself. Going back to our guest, Mr. Sheen, that is the clip you mentioned with Mr. Silverstein. Okay, that's the interview from 3 years ago. We've aired a clip of an interview we're going to be airing in full tomorrow, and Charlie Sheen live coming up several times this week, and a video interview. Again, repeat, the big announced news story. So I've gotten emails and calls, there's some confusion, isn't just the letter to the president, the simulated letter of Charlie meeting with the president It's him asking for a real meeting and asking people to get politically active and asking people to go out to the Tea Parties and the events and the town halls and bring up 9/11 and the fact that 6 of the 10 commissioners, the media, the establishment, the George Soros liberals, the neocons, the left-right control paradigm, they're going to try to make it a bunch of, about a whole bunch of other issues. And we knew that. That's good. We want people to, run around ruffling their feathers. And when the media asked Charlie Sheen, well, why'd you write this letter up, as if you'd met with the president? Well, that's the whole point of it, is he wants to meet with the president and he wants people to look at the evidence that we were just going over. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point. I mean, it just, sometimes it makes my head spin. But the big news is Charlie Sheen is going public for 9/11 Truth in a much bigger way than he did 3 years ago. And he's asking for other prominent people to go public for 9/11 Truth. So we're asking everybody to get this out to the media. Of course, there's going to be a lot of alternative media that's jealous. I don't know why. They are so obsessed with us, and it's because we're successful. But we're successful because our heart's in the right place about reaching out to the people and showing people the power they have. I get criticized for saying we need to have states' rights and not secede, though that's in the Constitution of the states choose, but to just redeclare 10th Amendment sovereignty. Or I get criticized a month ago for telling people to go to these town halls and take them over. People did that. It's the power of the people. It's peaceful revolution. Of course they're going to have COINTELPRO criticizing us for this. This is a whole nother level of resistance in waking people up. This is massive, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. Let's jam in more phone calls as promised. Let's go ahead and talk to, who's up next here in order? Matthew in Tennessee, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? I'm a member of We Are Change Nashville, and I've been trying to get 9/11 Truth out the best I can. I actually had a local theater rented out to show Fabled Enemies this Tuesday, and they backed out last minute. I've got an
So there you go, the censorship. You're trying to show Fabled Enemies, I guess today, and they backed out. That's what I mean, is that this is huge for 9/11 Truth. This is massive. The establishment is scared of this.
I walked in there with $600 to final up the deal, and they said, no, I'm sorry, we can't do this. This is too controversial right now. And I couldn't.
Yeah, that's right. In America, you can't rent a theater and show how the 9/11 first responders are dying and aren't getting medical care. That's mainly what the film's about. You can't show New York police coming up and saying backpacks and cameras are guns and we're going to charge you with terrorism as 9/11 truthers. You can't show the police state for what it is. And remember how I got criticized 2 years ago saying in the trials the human papilloma Gardasil vaccine was killing people? As if I wouldn't be sued off the face of the earth by Merck if that wasn't true. I had mainstream news. And then now they're saying in England they're going to take your kids if your kids get hurt by it and you speak out against it. Anything else, sir?
Yes, sir. I put together an event tomorrow night. It's at 8 o'clock at 1318 Little Hamilton. It's in Nashville 37205. At 8 o'clock, we're going to have a 9/11 Truth meeting and discussion, and we're showing Fabled Enemies. So
good. God bless you. Fire out a website.
Yes, sir. WeAreChangeNashville.com.
WeAreChangeNashville.com. Thank you. Yeah, look at this. Question a doctor, lose your child. Parents are being threatened with having their children taken away into care after questioning doctors' diagnoses or objecting to their medical care. John Hemming, a liberal Democrat MP who campaigns to stop injustice in the family court, said very often proceedings are used in retaliation by local authorities against uppity people. The mother of a 13-year-old girl who became partially paralyzed after being given the cervical cancer vaccination says social workers have told her the child may be removed if the mother continues to link her condition to the vaccination, even though it's admitted. My wife had NPR on yesterday morning, cooking breakfast, and they were going, oh, it's a really good shot, but it does kill you or hurt you sometimes, so you should be aware of that. I mean, they're going to take your kids if you go give them the shot and they get paralyzed or die. I mean, we're the conspiracy theorists. They're openly announcing Bank of the World, end of the dollar, total police state, gold above 1,000. I mean, we're just here covering real issues. And again, the fact that we're attacked by the establishment shows that we're over the target. Shows we're actually hitting them hard. More calls straight ahead.
Okay, folks, quiz time. What